Hello, friends. Did you know I just read a survey statistic that truly shocked me? Nearly 80% of our friends over 60 are unknowingly combining yogurt with foods that could be silently harming them. Even more concerning, over 65% of them still experience discomfort, bloating, and indigestion after eating yogurt, a food we're all told should help with digestion. I know how that feels. You do everything right. You try to eat healthy, choose foods advertised as good for your health, but still end up feeling worse. It's not fair, is it? You're not alone. Urgent warning. 3 foods to never and always combine with yogurt for health after 60. Listen to this. Doctors across America are still advising their patients to eat yogurt to improve gut health, while about 1/3 of these people actually feel worse after eating it. Why this strange paradox? But here's the good news. The problem isn't the yogurt, and it's certainly not your age. The truth is, it's all about how we combine yogurt. Today, I'll share with you 3 foods you should never combine with yogurt once you're past 60, and more importantly, 3 wonderful food combinations that will help you feel healthier, younger, and more energetic every day. Oh, and before we dive into the details, I'm curious. Which state are you watching from? Let me know in the comments below. And if you find this information helpful, please subscribe to receive more health tips specifically for us, those enjoying the golden years of life. Explanation. The aging body. You know, something truly magical happens when we cross the threshold of 60. We become wiser. We have more time for the things we love. But our bodies also go through changes that can sometimes make life a bit challenging. Have you ever woken up in the morning and wondered, why do I feel so stiff? Or, why does my favorite meal now leave me bloated all day? That's not your imagination, and you're certainly not the only one feeling this way. Studies show that as we age, our stomachs produce up to 40% less acid. Imagine that. Our little digestive engine is running at just 60% capacity. No wonder foods that were once a great joy can now become a concern. Worse still, our liver and pancreas also slow down, producing fewer digestive enzymes. And those good bacteria in our gut, those tiny organisms I like to call our internal protection squad, also change over time. You know, I met a wonderful lady named Jane in Florida, now 78 years old. She told me, I used to be able to eat anything I wanted. Now it seems everything makes me feel like an inflated balloon. I had to laugh because that description was so accurate. But then, talking further, I discovered she started her day with a bowl of yogurt and fruit, a combination we're all taught is healthy. When I explained that this specific combination might be the cause of her discomfort, she actually teared up. I thought something was seriously wrong with me, she said. I thought I was losing control of my body. That feeling is painful, isn't it? The feeling that your body is betraying you. But here's the wonderful truth. We can take back control. We can make small, simple changes in how we combine foods and feel better immediately. Yogurt is still a wonderful superfood. It contains beautiful good bacteria that help balance our digestive system, boost our immune system, and can even help protect us from many age-related health issues. But like a beautiful flower planted in unsuitable soil, if we combine yogurt with the wrong foods, we'll never receive its full benefits. Part 1. First food not to combine. The first food you should never combine with yogurt, once you're past 60, might surprise you. It's acidic fruits, especially citrus and melons. I know. Hard to believe, right? We see those yogurt cups flavored with orange, strawberry, peach everywhere in the grocery store. They look so appealing with those images of fresh fruits on the packaging. But oh, I wish they came with a warning label for our friends over 60. Think about this. In your stomach, acids from oranges, grapefruits, pineapples, and even some berries interact with the protein in yogurt. And you know what happens? They form little clumps. The protein curdles and becomes much harder to digest. For young folks with healthy stomachs full of acid, this might not be a big deal. But for us, who've experienced a decade or two of the golden years, our digestive systems react differently. Those clumps sit in our stomachs and intestines, causing inflammation, bloating, and can even negate all those good bacteria that yogurt provides. And oh, those melons, watermelon, cantaloupe, honeydew, they're delicious, aren't they? But they digest quickly, while yogurt digests slowly. This creates a traffic jam in your digestive tract. Melon wants to zip through the system, but it gets stuck behind slow-moving yogurt and starts to ferment. And you know what happens when food ferments in your gut instead of in the bowl, don't you? Poof. Bloating, discomfort, and sometimes even diarrhea. I'll never forget Eleanor, a wonderful 73-year-old woman I met in Boston. She was a nurse before retiring and very health conscious. Every morning she ate a bowl of Greek yogurt with half a grapefruit, a breakfast that every health magazine touted as perfect. But Eleanor constantly felt bloated, in pain, and uncomfortable after breakfast. She started skipping lunch because she still felt full and uncomfortable. She'd even gone to the doctor about these pains, worried they might be a sign of something more serious. When I suggested she eliminate the grapefruit and replace it with another option I'll share later, she was skeptical. "But that's my healthy breakfast," she protested. After a week of the change, she called me, her voice full of emotion. "For the first time in years, I don't feel like I have a balloon in my stomach anymore. I can actually enjoy lunch again." Sometimes the smallest changes have the biggest impact, don't they? Part 2. Second food not to combine. All right, now let's talk about the second food you shouldn't combine with yogurt. This is something many of us do every day without thinking. Eating yogurt with meat or protein-rich meals. Oh, I know we've heard so much about how older adults need more protein. That's true. Protein helps us maintain muscle and strength as we age. But how we consume protein matters. What many people don't realize is that yogurt, especially Greek yogurt, is already high in protein. A cup of Greek yogurt can contain up to 20 grams of protein. That's equivalent to nearly 3 eggs. So what happens when you combine something already rich in protein with even more protein? I often think of our stomachs like a small factory working diligently. When we eat protein, the factory has to produce acid and enzymes to break it down. For younger people, this factory works at full capacity 24/7. But as we age, like everything else, the factory starts to slow down a bit. There are fewer workers, fewer enzymes, less energy, less acid. So when you give the factory too much protein at once, like eating Greek yogurt with a piece of grilled chicken or steak, the factory gets overloaded. It can't process everything, so food sits in your stomach longer, from the normal 2 to 3 hours to up to 4-6 hours. And this is where things get really uncomfortable. Food sitting in your stomach and intestines for too long can start to ferment and even rot a little bit. I know it sounds gross, but that's what happens. This process creates the kinds of gases none of us want to experience and can lead to bloating, distension, acid reflux, and even joint pain from inflammation. Howard, a wonderful 68-year-old veteran in Phoenix I know, had a habit of eating a large bowl of Greek yogurt after his protein-rich dinner. He thought he was doing something good for his health, adding calcium and protein to keep his bones and muscles strong. But he consistently woke up in the middle of the night with terrible stomach pain and acid reflux. His wife, Mary, worried it might be a sign of heart disease. They went to the doctor, did test after test, only to discover that it was just how Howard was eating yogurt. When he switched to eating yogurt as a separate snack away from his protein-rich dinner, the symptoms disappeared in less than 2 weeks. "I haven't slept this well in years," he told me, his eyes lighting up. "It's incredible that such a small change can make such a big difference, isn't it?" Part 3. Third food not to combine. Now let's talk about the third food you shouldn't combine with yogurt. Spicy and fried foods. Oh, I know. I love spicy dishes and crispy fried treats too. There's nothing like a hot spicy soup on a cold day or a crispy snack while watching your favorite movie. But combining these with yogurt? That can be a recipe for discomfort, especially when we're past 60. Let's talk about spicy foods first. Did you know that about 1/3 of people over 60 develop thinner stomach linings? That's the protective layer inside our stomachs. When it's thinner, we become more sensitive to things that might irritate it, and nothing irritates the stomach more than spicy food. But here's the interesting thing about yogurt. In traditional medicine systems around the world, from Indian Ayurveda to Chinese medicine, yogurt is considered a cooling food. It helps soothe the body, creates mucus, and has a yin quality. By contrast, spicy foods are considered heating, drying, and yang. When you combine them, you're basically sending conflicting signals to your body. Heat up and cool down at the same time. It's like you're running both the heater and air conditioner in your house at once. Your body doesn't know how to respond, and the result is often bloating, inflammatory heat, and sometimes even uncomfortable heartburn. What about fried foods? Oh, I wish I had better news for you about our beloved crispy treats, but the truth is, fried foods contain oxidized oils that can create an inflammatory storm in the body, and inflammation, my friends, is enemy number one for our joints as we age. Here's the amazing thing. According to the National Institute on Aging, up to 80% of Americans over 65 have some form of arthritis. 80%. And many don't realize that what they eat can directly trigger their joint pain. When you combine fried oils with yogurt, again, you're sending conflicting signals to the body. Fried oil says inflame, while yogurt says calm down. The result? A vague discomfort that many of us have become all too familiar with. Dorothy, a wonderful 75-year-old woman from Florida, told me she always ate yogurt alongside her spicy Indian meals. I thought it would cool down the spice, she explained, but she would consistently wake up the next morning with swollen, painful joints. I just thought it was because I was old, she said, her voice sad. When she stopped combining yogurt with her spicy meals, the change was remarkable. I can play with my grandchildren without pain now, she said, tears glistening. I feel like I've gotten a part of my life back. Moments like these are what make me obsessed with this work. It's miraculous to see how simple changes can make such big differences in people's lives. Part 4. First food to combine. All right, you've heard enough about what not to do. Let's talk about what's wonderful to do. The first food that pairs perfectly with yogurt, especially for those of us past 60, is cooked apples with cinnamon. Oh, if I could send the aroma of this dish through the screen to you. Nothing is as warm and comforting as the smell of cooked apples, and cinnamon is there. It reminds us of cozy fall evenings and sweet childhood memories. But the best part? This combination is actually really good for our aging bodies. Apples contain a special fiber called pectin, which acts as a natural prebiotic. In other words, it's food for those good bacteria in yogurt. So when you combine these two, you're not just adding probiotics to your body, but providing exactly what they need to thrive. It's like planting a beautiful garden and then nurturing it with the best fertilizer. But why cooked apples instead of fresh? This is where it gets interesting. As we age, our teeth and gums may not be as strong as they once were, and our stomachs may struggle with hard, tough foods. Raw apples, with their thick skins and crisp structure, can be difficult to digest. Cooking apples breaks down the tough fibers, making them much easier to digest. And something magical happens. The cooking process actually releases more antioxidants, meaning cooked apples are even better for us. What about cinnamon? Oh, this isn't just a tasty spice. Cinnamon has incredible blood sugar regulating abilities. You know that energy spike after eating something sweet, followed by feeling tired and sluggish just an hour later? Cinnamon helps flatten that curve, helping you maintain steady energy throughout the day. Cinnamon is also one of the most powerful natural anti-inflammatories. This is especially important for those of us dealing with joint pain. Multiple studies have found that cinnamon contains compounds that can inhibit inflammatory enzymes, helping reduce pain and joint stiffness. Patricia, a wonderful 82-year-old woman from Minnesota, shared with me that she had given up hope of finding a way to reduce her morning arthritis pain without medication. But after starting to eat cooked apples with cinnamon and yogurt every morning, she was amazed to see her pain diminish within 3 weeks. At first, I didn't believe it was from my new breakfast, she told me, so I stopped eating it for a week and the pain came back. Now nobody can stop me from eating my cooked apples with yogurt. I've even started making small batches to freeze. Preparing this is so easy. You just need peel and slice 1 apple. Any kind works. I like Gala or Honeycrisp. Place in a small pot with 2 tablespoons of water. Cook for about 5 to 10 minutes until soft. Sprinkle with some cinnamon. Let it cool slightly and mix with a cup of plain unsweetened yogurt. It's a perfect breakfast for days when we need extra energy or an afternoon snack when we're feeling tired. This dish isn't just gentle on the digestive system, but also supports joint health, blood sugar control, and can even help us focus better. Part 5. Second food to combine. The second excellent choice to combine with yogurt is ripe bananas. This is one of the simplest yet most effective secrets I share with my patients over 60. Bananas are a wonderful gift from nature for people our age. They're easy to hold, easy to eat, even if you have dental issues, and packed full of nutrients that our aging bodies really need. You know those painful leg cramps that wake you up at night? Or the tingling sensations in feet and hands that many of us experience? Guess what? Those are often due to potassium and magnesium deficiencies, and bananas are full of both. An average banana contains about 420 milliliters of potassium and 32 milliliters of magnesium, exactly what our muscles and nerves need to function smoothly. But what's really special about bananas when combined with yogurt is how they support digestion. Bananas, especially when they have a few brown spots on the peel, contain natural digestive enzymes that help our bodies break down food. They also contain a special prebiotic called fructooligosaccharides, FOS, the perfect food for those good bacteria in yogurt. They also help balance stomach acid, which is wonderful for many of us over 60 who suffer from acid reflux. Bananas create a gentle protective coating on the stomach lining, helping fight irritation and reduce inflammation. I'll never forget Richard's story, a charming 70-year-old gentleman from California. Richard had suffered from terrible nighttime leg cramps for years. Sometimes the pain was so bad he would call an ambulance because he thought he was having a heart attack. After many doctor visits and tests, no one could find the cause. When I suggested he try eating yogurt with a ripe banana every evening before bed, he looked skeptical. "That's it?" he asked, clearly expecting a more complex solution. 2 weeks later, Richard called me, excitement in his voice. "I've slept through the night without cramps for the first time in years," he said, his voice shaking with emotion. "My wife is sleeping better too because she's not being woken up by my cries of pain anymore." Sometimes the simplest things have the biggest impact on our quality of life, don't they? That's what I love about this approach. For best results, choose bananas with a few brown spots. The riper the banana, the naturally sweeter and easier to digest. Simply slice or mash the banana and mix with plain yogurt. If you want to elevate this dish, add a touch of raw honey for flavor and additional antibacterial benefits. And don't worry about the sugar in bananas if you're watching your sugar intake. The sugar in bananas comes with fiber that helps your body absorb it more slowly, avoiding the blood sugar spikes we see with processed sweets. Part 6. Third food to combine. Our third wonderful combination choice is something many people over 60 might never have tried with yogurt, ground flaxseed or chia seeds. I know these tiny seeds don't look impressive. They're small, flavorless, and look quite boring. But don't let appearances fool you. These tiny seeds are one of the most powerful ways to turn your yogurt into an anti-aging superfood. Flax seeds and chia seeds are some of the richest plant sources of omega-3 fatty acids we can eat. And you know what? Multiple studies show that omega-3s can help reduce inflammation in the body, particularly in our brains and joints. That's fantastic news for any of us struggling with joint pain, brain fog, or even just the general chronic inflammation that many people over 60 experience. But the real benefit of these seeds for older adults is their amazing fiber content. A tablespoon of chia or ground flaxseed contains about 3 to 5 grams of fiber. That's 1/5 of your daily recommended intake from just one small spoonful. And let's talk frankly about a topic nobody likes to discuss, but all of us face as we age: constipation. Nearly 40% of people over 65 struggle with this, and it can be a real quality of life issue. The fiber in these seeds doesn't just help things move along, it also nourishes a healthy gut, helping balance those good bacteria in our digestive system. When chia seeds come into contact with liquid like yogurt, they absorb the water and form a natural gel. This gel helps keep our digestive tract hydrated, important because many older adults are dehydrated, while also creating a soothing protective layer for the intestinal lining. This can be especially helpful if you have irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, or other digestive issues. Martha was a petite, graceful 77-year-old woman from Arizona. When I met her, she had tried every constipation remedy imaginable: laxatives, adding fiber, drinking more water, but was still in pain and discomfort. "I got to the point where I didn't want to leave the house anymore," she confessed. "I was too afraid I'd feel unwell and not be able to find a bathroom." When I suggested she add a tablespoon of chia seeds to her morning yogurt, she didn't look impressed. "These tiny seeds are going to do what?" she asked, half joking, half serious. She called me 3 days later, excitement in her voice. "This is almost miraculous," she said, sounding like she was dancing while talking. "For the first time in months, I feel normal. I went to a concert with my daughter and didn't even have to worry." Amazing, isn't it? And Martha also noticed an unexpected side effect. Her joint pain had decreased. "I didn't even know that was something that could get better," she admitted. This is where I need to make an important note about flax seeds. To get the benefits, they must be ground. Unlike chia seeds, whole flax seeds often pass through the body unbroken. You can buy pre-ground flaxseed, often called flaxseed meal, or purchase whole seeds and grind them in a coffee grinder at home. To create a super nutritious yogurt, simply add a tablespoon of ground flaxseed or chia seeds to your bowl of plain yogurt. For the best texture, let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes before eating, or even prepare it overnight in the refrigerator. If you want a touch of sweetness, add a bit of raw honey or a few slices of ripe banana. This isn't just a tasty snack, but a real tonic for our aging bodies, supporting gut health, improving digestion, reducing inflammation, and may even help maintain brain health as we age. Bonus section: oatmeal. Oh, and if you want to turn your yogurt breakfast into a more complete meal, I have a special suggestion: cooked oatmeal or overnight oats. This is a wonderful way to combine the benefits of all the foods we've discussed. Oatmeal is one of the healthiest foods for our hearts. It contains a special type of fiber called beta-glucan, which has been FDA certified to help lower bad LDL cholesterol. This is important because heart disease remains the leading cause of death for people over 65 in the United States. But here's what many people don't realize. Raw or dry oatmeal can be really hard on older stomachs. Many people find that instant oatmeal with cold milk leaves them feeling bloated and uncomfortable. That's why cooking oatmeal or soaking it overnight is a game changer. The cooking or soaking process softens the oats, making them much easier to digest. It also deactivates phytic acid, a natural compound in whole grains that can interfere with calcium, iron, and zinc absorption, all minerals that many older adults tend to be deficient in. Alice, a wonderful 80-year-old woman from Vermont, is a shining example of how a small change can make a big difference. Alice loved oatmeal, but it always left her feeling bloated and uncomfortable. When we talked, I discovered she was eating instant oatmeal with cold milk. Try cooking the oatmeal or soaking it overnight with yogurt, I suggested. Warm it up in the morning and add a little cinnamon. When I spoke with Alice a month later, she was beaming through the phone. "I feel like I've discovered a secret. I've been eating oatmeal for 60 years, but I've never truly enjoyed it until now, and I don't feel like a balloon after breakfast anymore." Here's how to make overnight oats with yogurt. Mix 1 3-cup rolled oats, not instant, with 1 cup plain yogurt. Add a little milk or water to thin if needed. Add any flavors you like: cinnamon, ground flaxseed, sliced banana, or cooked apples. Cover and refrigerate overnight. In the morning, warm it gently in the microwave if you prefer it warm or enjoy it cold. This dish gives you protein from the yogurt, soluble fiber from the oats, omega-3s from the flaxseed, and all the other nutrients we've discussed. It's a complete breakfast that can help you maintain energy, support gut health, and reduce inflammation, all in one bowl. It's amazing to think about how small changes in the way we combine foods can make such a big difference in how we feel, isn't it? Let's quickly summarize what we've learned. 3 foods not to combine with yogurt after 60. Acidic fruits and melons, oranges, grapefruits, watermelon. They irritate the stomach and ferment in the wrong place. Meat and protein-rich meals. They overload the aging digestive system, spicy and fried foods. They create conflicting signals and cause inflammation. 3 foods to combine with yogurt. Cooked apples with cinnamon. Support digestion, reduce inflammation, and control blood sugar. Ripe bananas, rich in potassium and magnesium, help balance stomach pH. Ground flaxseed or chia seeds provide omega-3s, fiber, and support regular digestion. And don't forget our wonderful bonus, cooked or overnight oats for a complete meal. Before I finish, I want to share something from the heart. As we age, it sometimes feels like everything is beyond our control, doesn't it? The body clock is ticking, and we may feel powerless in the face of the changes happening. But here's the beautiful truth. We have more control than we think. Small, simple changes in the way we eat can make huge differences in how we feel each day. We don't have to accept pain, discomfort, or fatigue as an inevitable part of getting older. A wonderful 92-year-old woman I was fortunate to know once told me, "The secret to living long isn't living longer, it's feeling better longer." And I believe that starts with simple, everyday choices like how we eat our yogurt. So I want to encourage all my wonderful friends across America, whether you're in sunny Florida, chilly Maine, or somewhere in between, try one of these new combinations with yogurt tomorrow. You might be surprised at how you feel. And let me know how it works for you in the comments below. I really want to hear your story. Which state are you from? Which combination did you try? How did it help you feel? Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and remember to subscribe for more practical health advice for our golden years. See you in the next video.